Hello everyone, it's time for another EU News update, and we have a whole lot to talk about today. As always, for any merchandise that I mention in this video, there will be links in the description where you can either buy or pre-order them. The legendary artist and illustrator Greg Hildebrandt passed away on October 31st at the age of 85 from a serious side effect of a heart medication. Greg, his twin brother Tim, and his wife Jean have worked together for over 4 decades, producing artwork for various sci-fi and fantasy franchises like Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering, and of course, Star Wars. Greg and Tim started professionally in 1959, inspired by Walt Disney, Norman Rockwell, and Maxfield Parrish. Fox hired Greg and Tim when they saw their artwork for the Lord of the Rings calendars. They then created the iconic Style B poster for the original Star Wars movie, with Luke holding his lightsaber alongside Princess Leia and the looming face of Darth Vader in the starry sky background. It was based on Tom Jung's Style A Star Wars movie poster, but Fox executives thought that Tom's version was too dark. The Hildebrandt's poster really is one of the most iconic movie posters of all time, and they only had 10 days to create it before the British release of A New Hope. In 1995, they returned to the Star Wars franchise with the illustration of the cover of Star Wars Galaxy Issue 5, and the top Star Wars Shadows of the Empire series of trading cards for the Shadows of the Empire multimedia project. He truly did get to contribute to a very important part of the expanded universe. Greg continued to put Tim's name on their artwork, even after Tim suffered a stroke, which he sadly did not recover from, and passed away in 2006. The night that Greg died, Gene shared on his Facebook that he passed away peacefully in my arms. He knew he was safe, and he was loved, and he will be missed terribly. In book news, on November 5th, Wave 11 of the Essential Legends collection was released. Books in this wave include Han Solo Adventures, Solo Command, and The Force Unleashed. These books will all be released with new cover art in the trade paperback format, and perhaps even more exciting, unabridged audiobooks for The Force Unleashed and Solo Command were also released on the same day. Speaking of the Essential Legends collection, Inkstone Books is adding new books to their exclusive hardcover format, Darth Plagueis and Death Troopers. These exclusive hardcover edition novels are signed by their respective authors and are limited to 500 copies. The Plagueis novel features red pages and Plagueis' face on the back, and the Death Troopers novel has a picture of a zombified stormtrooper and black pages. Death Troopers is still available for pre-order, but considering the popularity of Darth Plagueis, those are already sold out. But you can sign up for any potential spare copies by joining the waitlist by emailing inquiries@inkstonebooks.com. Both of these books are projected to ship in December 2024. On November 12th, the 54th and final of the Star Wars Epic Collections, the original Marvel years, Droids and Ewoks, was released. The most lovable stars of a galaxy far, far away, and a complete collection of their adorable all-ages adventures. Join Wicket and his Ewok friends Teebo and Princess Nisa in their forest home of Endor for colorful capers filled with rainbow bridges and rites of power. And in stories set years before they find a home with the Rebels, follow C-3PO and R2-D2 in their search for a master. The quest will stretch across space and beyond, as a crazy chronal crossover sees them meet the Ewoks again for the very first time. It's a little bittersweet since this is the final Epic Collection. It definitely shouldn't be. In a just world, we would still be getting new Legends comics so that they can still be collected in new Epic Collections. But at the very least, older, harder to find Epic Collections are still being reprinted. If you're interested, the Epic Collections, the original Marvel years, Droids and Ewoks, is now available. And in merchandise news, we have a few things to talk about. Iron Studios is releasing a deluxe 10th scale art statue of Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa as they appear on Tom Jung's Style A movie poster. Announcing the release of Star Wars in US movie theaters in 1977, Jung was given a brief of good versus evil and provided with a wealth of photos, which ultimately resulted in the iconic work, portraying a stylized Luke Skywalker in a heroic pose, brandishing a glowing lightsaber above his head. with the option to change the saber's blade both in the energized version like in the poster, and in the original classic blue version from the movie, alongside Princess Leia standing below him, holding a blaster pistol in her right hand, and wearing a flowing white cape behind her. The statue is made with high-quality materials such as polystone, and may contain parts in resin, PVC, metal, and fabric, and is now available for pre-order. It is expected to arrive in the third quarter of 2025. From Gentle Giant, we've got a lot of cool new statues. First is Bomb Vimdin, this Advos from Rifflore who has black eyes and a single horn on his head, a notorious smuggler. Vimdin has a blaster on his belt and a blaster rifle on his back, and he's not being brought in without a fight. This approximately 6-inch mini bust sits atop a black pedestal base and is limited to only 1,000 pieces. It comes packaged with a numbered certificate of authenticity and a numbered full-color window box. It is set for release in quarter 4 of 2025. Next is the Premier Collection statue of Captain Fordo. Known for his multiple badass moments in the Clone Wars microseries, this statue depicts Fordo how we all remember him, in the middle of the action, firing his blaster with one hand and his other blaster raised. In his distinctive white armor with red accents, Fordo stands approximately 11 inches tall, with 1 foot up on a technological base. The 7th scale resin statue is set to release in quarter 3 of 2025. And finally is the Snowtrooper Milestones statue. The Snowtroopers are on the hunt for rebels, and they may have found some. Standing on a snowy, rocky landscape, this 6-scale statue of an Imperial Stormtrooper holds a pair of binoculars in his hand and a rifle at his side, while the fabric of his uniform flaps in the wind. Measuring approximately 13 inches tall, this resin sculpture features detailed sculpting and paint applications. It is estimated to arrive in quarter 3 of 2025. From Sideshow Collectibles, as part of the Scum and Villainy collection, is the 6-scale figure of Dr. Cornelius Evazan. A practitioner of cruel medical experiments, Cornelius Evazan faces the death penalty in 12 systems for his terrifying treatments. His notorious scarred visage is a warning to every being in the galaxy, unless they're in need of his smuggling and surgical skills. Alongside the pirate Ponda Baba, Evazan has certainly developed quite the reputation on his homeworld Alsaken, in Mos Eisley, and beyond. Inspired by the character's appearance in A New Hope, this fully articulated, highly posable, high-end figure wears cut-and-sew clothing befitting his grubby, gruff appearance. His costume includes a light brown shirt, brown vest, dark brown pants, and a black belt. The Dr. Evazan 6-scale figure comes with a blaster holster, and 7 different swap-out hands to create various gestures. He is now available for pre-order and is expected to ship between September and December of 2025. On November 17th, the adult-sized helmet of Clone Commander Gree of the 41st Elite Corps was released. Clone Commander Gree wore a helmet with a distinctive, camouflage design to better blend into the jungle surroundings. But this highly detailed replica is sure to stand out in your Star Wars collection. This authentic full-scale helmet features real character phrases and a voice-changing effect, as well as interior padding for a comfortable, adjustable fit. This helmet is now available. And an image surfaced online of an unannounced 2-pack of a Phase 1 Clone Trooper and a Super Battle Droid in the Black Series. Not much information about the release date or any other features for the time being, but be sure to keep an eye out for when this finally gets announced. Also, according to yakface.com, we have some new information about figures coming out under the Shadows of the Empire line in the Black Series, specifically Luke in the Imperial Guard disguise, and Leia in her Bosch disguise, as we also see in The Return of the Jedi. We already had a few leaks saying Dash Rendar was coming soon, and of course Prince Xizor is still available for pre-order. But I would love to get even more figures for the Shadows of the Empire line, like Big Giz, Guri, or Chewbacca in his Bounty Hunter disguise. In video game news, Bounty Hunter is receiving a new update patch for all platforms. There are various graphical improvements, but it also fixes bugs like Jango occasionally getting stuck on a hanging animation when trying to roll down an exit, and an issue where button inputs performed while in a cutscene would count as in-game inputs. Improvements to mouse and keyboard control functionality, and there are no longer invisible grabbable edges on Chapter 2, Level 3. On HumbleBundle.com, you can pay what you want for the Sci-Fi Shooters bundle that includes Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered, System Shock, Prey, Crisis Remastered Trilogy, and Doom. You can pay less to get fewer items, or pay extra to give more to publishers, Humble, and charity. This bundle supports the charities One Tree Planted and Cool Effect. You can get great games for really cheap while supporting some great causes. This offer ends on December 13th. In SWTOR news, the Master the Flight Starbolt Edition is now available until January 14th. As far as SWTOR subscription bundles go, this one is actually a pretty good deal, with the Vectron Starbolt mount and the amount of cartel coins and dies that you receive. If you're thinking of resubbing into SWTOR, I would probably recommend getting this bundle while you can. Update 7.6 Galactic Threads is coming soon, and with it, a Twitch drop campaign. Up until 28 days after its launch, after watching 48 hours of SWTOR content on Twitch, players will be able to obtain the Amethyst Voltilla mount. Galactic Threads begins immediately following the events from the Desperate Defiance storyline. Players and their alliance race to find Darth Malgus and stop whatever plans he has set in motion. At the same time, players will also seek answers surrounding Darth Nul's holocron and the Hidden Chain's ambitions. Jekia and Ross Ordo, Arn Paraloon, Major Anri, Talos Drellic, Avaki Spar, and Lana Beniko will be making a return in the story update. Story missions will be taking players to Hoth, Tatooine, and the dig site at Nul's Temple of Elom. A new type of decoration bundle is making its debut with 7.6. The Remote Trading Post bundle, when initially purchased, players will receive one set of neglected decorations. These items will appear broken, damaged, and will need to be fixed. After completing a couple of light gameplay missions, players will receive a full set of fixed decorations. Players will also receive 2 mini-pets, a baby Dianoga, and the D5 CO DJ droid. And coming to the cartel market is the Mysterious Rogue Armor, Fearless Buccaneer Weapons, Fearless Buccaneer Lightsaber and Dual Saber, Metallic Grey Chrome White and Chrome White Metallic Grey dyes, and long hair customization. There are also rewards for completing the dynamic encounter missions like Hidden Chain and Electric Gaze Armors, Freckled Lothcat Kitten Pet, and the Desert Sand and Frozen Peaks mounts. A new lair boss will be coming with 7.6. The Propagator Core XR53 originated from one of the many broken pieces when the Emperor's Fortress crashed into Ilum. The XR53 is a Rakatan droid replicator trying to fix itself by harvesting resources. PvP Season 7 will launch with Update 7.6, and the PvP rewards will include Plumed Scout and Plumed Trapper armors, Feathered Range and Feathered Huntmaster armors, and PvP Season 7 Battler small and large trophy decorations. Rewards for the Life Day event mid-December include the Tursa G1 F7 mount and Life Day Ornate Robes. Mounts are coming to SWTOR that companions can ride along in, like the Miram Cicada mount, and some mounts will allow mini-pets to ride along too. There are quality of life modernization updates done to various planets with Update 7.6. Players will see updates done to Tython, Korriban, Hoth, and Ilum. Character models, specifically heads, will also see improved fidelity across the game. Players will see updates to their character via updated character textures, along with ocular specularity and with lighting and shader improvements. Texture changes are starting in this update with Human, Chiss, Cyborg, Miralukin, Miralin, Togruta, Radataki, and Zabrak models. It's not all good news, however. If you have not logged into a character since January 1st, 2024, that character name will be released into an unreserved pool and can potentially be claimed by another player when 7.6 launches. Players who want to keep their character names must log into the game before the 7.6 launch and log into each character. Players who are subscribers at 7.6 launch will not need to take any action. A pretty scummy way to try to scare people to log back into SWTOR, in my opinion. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below.